Hello, welcome to the final video of video on time and work. In the first two videos, I taught you all the concepts related to time and work, and we have solved 22 questions by using the simplest methodologies, or we used common sense to solve 22 questions. In the next video, that is the second video, I have solved 11 CAT questions which appeared in the last 25 years of CAT, that is from 1990 to 2014. However, for all the questions, the level of difficulty is easy. This is the final video. In this video, again we are going to solve CAT questions which appeared in the last 25 years. However, the level of difficulty is moderate. You can simply understand, or you can simply infer from this, that the level of difficulty of time and work in the last 25 years of CAT is never ever difficult or very difficult. It means that all the questions that appear in CAT are either very easy or moderate. If you haven't solved the questions before watching this video, I suggest you to solve all the questions. And for this video, there is a worksheet. You can find the link of the worksheet here in this YouTube itself, in my channel itself, or else you can check for the link in KISH classes Facebook page. I suggest you to watch this video once you've solved the questions, and the number of questions in this video is exactly 3. Let's solve question number 1. Read the question carefully. That is the most important thing that you need to do before solving the question. A tank has 3 taps ABC. A fills 4 buckets in 24 minutes. It's clearly given. It's 4 buckets in 24 minutes. We have no idea about the capacity of the tank actually. B fills 8 buckets in 1 hour. C fills 2 buckets in 20 minutes. If all the taps are open together, a full tank is emptied in 2 hours. Look at this one, it is emptied, and then time is given. If a bucket can hold 5 liters of water, what is the capacity of the tank? So in order to find the tank full capacity, if once we can find the number of buckets it can take, then our work is completed. To find the number of buckets, either we can find the time it takes for A alone to fill the tank, or B alone to fill the tank, or C alone to fill the tank. That is sufficient. Now let's write them in a proper order so that we can start identifying the elements needed to find the answer. So we have a bucket, as I explained you, frame, number of persons or things. So its next thing is efficiency, or you can say it is capacity also. The next one is the time. The final one is total work in terms of units or some measurement. Now here there is only one person, so obviously it's 1 and it's A. We have no idea about the time he takes to fill the entire tank. However, the efficiency can be calculated. It's clearly given here. A fills 4 buckets in 24 minutes. It means that each bucket will take 6 minutes. Now the next one is B. B is also only one candidate. Now B fills 8 buckets in 1 hour. So per bucket it's 7.5 minutes. We have got C also. C fills 2 buckets in 20 minutes. So it means that it's 10 minutes. So exactly to fill 1 bucket of water, A takes 6 minutes, 7.5 minutes and 10 minutes. Now When they work together, a full tank is emptied in exactly 2 hours. So it means that the total operation time is 120 minutes. In 130 minutes, 100% of the tank is emptied. What can we assume here? Can we say that A is inlet pipe, B is inlet pipe, C is outlet pipe? Or can we imagine that okay, B is inlet and then other two are outlets? We cannot conclude anything here related to which pipe is inlet and which pipe is outlet. And we cannot say how many inlet pipes are there and how many outlet pipes are there. We can assume only once we understand, once we go through the answer options. Now answer options simply said it's 120 liters, 240, 180 and then 60 liters. That's what we can know. What we can infer from the answer options is, since none of the answer options carries an answer like none of the above or all the above or data insufficient or cannot be determined, what you need to understand from this one is you need to take all of them as outlet pipes. Otherwise, we cannot solve this question. We have to simply assume it. If we want to take one as inlet pipe and the other two as outlet pipes, we probably get some different answer. So this way all of them are outlet pipes. So in such a case, at the end of a 120 minutes exactly, this one will fill 20 buckets, because to fill each bucket it takes 6 minutes. Now this one will fill 120 by 7.5, that is how many, 120 minutes and it's 7.5 minutes per bucket, 16 buckets. This one is obviously 12 buckets. But the combined one is obviously it's 48 buckets. Now no matter what happens, so the 48 buckets, some of them could be outlets, some of them could be inlets. No matter what happens, this is the 48. What we can safely say is like we need to simply take everything as an outlet, then only we can solve. So 48, and then each bucket capacity is 5 liters, that is 240 liters of water is involved in the operation, and we already inferred that all of them are outlets. So the capacity of the entire tank is 240 liters. Let's solve the next question. Two typists undertake today to do a job. The second typist began working 1 hour after the first one. 3 hours after the first typist has begun working, there is still 9 by 20 of the work to be done. I suggest you not to read the next statement. Try to understand the information given in second statement and try to clearly read it. It's 9 by 20 of the work to be done. It means 11 by 20 of the work is already finished. 9 by 20 is it's still pending. This is pending. Yeah. Do not think that 9 by 20 of the work is completed. Now read the next statement. When the assignment is completed, it turns out that each typist has done half of the work. How many hours would it take each one to do the whole job individually? We can simply solve this question by going through the answer options. That's a very easy job. But since this year we are going to have non-multiple choice questions, I suggest you to learn the application of concept. So you should have some idea about how to apply the concept. Let's solve this question. If you want to go through answer option, you can. but that's not the case. Now let's say typist 1, or let's say person 1, he has started some work. Now we have no idea about his efficiency per hour. I say x units, or he can type x pages. Now the time he has worked so far, that is 3 hours, that is only so far. And the second person, you have no idea about his efficiency, you can take that y units, and that he worked only for 2 hours, that is so far. What really happened is, like, since you have no idea about the time taken by the candidate person 1 to finish the work, then you can say that okay, this duration is, let's say, t1 hours, and he takes t2 hours. Either you can simply say that his efficiency per hour is x, or you can directly say that uh, person 1 takes t1 hours to finish the work. Now since at the end of the 1 hour the first person finished 1 by t1th of the work, and at the end of the 3 hours he would be finishing 3 by t1. That's what happens to the next one. So in 3 hours the person B would finish 3 by t2 hours. No, no, the combined one, once you add, we can say it is 3 by t1 plus 3 by t2. That's going to be 11 by 20th part. This we can solve. This we can possibly get from our steps. Now, what is given is, at the end of the work, exactly, T1 has finished 50% and T2 also finished 50% of the work. In such a case, at the end of the work, T1 must have worked for T1 by 2 hours. T2 must have worked for T2 by 2 hours. And the gap is quite simple. Person 1 started 1 hour before the person 2 reported to the work. It means that person 1 started exactly 1 hour before. It means that T1 by 2, that is 50% of the work. This is the number of hours he has invested by person 1, and T2 by 2, this is where he finished 50% of the work. To finish 50% of the work, first person and second person we have simply taken as T1 and T2, and this is equal to 1 hour. The gap, because he started 1 hour before. This must be very easy. It means, so T1 is equal to 10 and T2 is equal to 8. This is the only possibility. So T1 has worked for 10 hours and T2 has worked for 8 hours. That's what we can say. Now that means per hour capacity of T1 is 10% and per hour capacity of T2 is 12.5%. This is how we can simply say in 3 hours T1 has finished 30% of the work and T2 in first 2 hours finished 25%. So that's why they together finished in the first 3 hours 55%. Now we don't really need to write all the steps. This is unnecessary actually. What you need to understand is, like, so in 3 hours first one finishes some percent of the work. That is, instead of doing all these things, you can simply say that the total time person 1 takes is T1 hours. Since he's completing 50% of the work, he must be investing 50% of his entire time. And then same is the case for T2 also. Okay. Yeah, let's solve the final question. Looks like it's a bit lengthier. There's a lot of work in preparing a birthday dinner. Even after the turkey is in the oven, there is still the potatoes and gravy, hams, salad, and Canberries, not to mention sitting the table. Three friends, Asit, Arnold, and Afzal, work together to get all of these chores done. The time it takes them to do work together is 6 hours less than Asit would have taken working alone, 1 hour less than Arnold would have taken alone, and half the time Afzal would have taken working alone. How long did it take them to do these chores working together? Like the information is given in 7 lines. However, the first 3.5 lines are absolutely not at all useful. And in the next 3.5 lines also, the information given is quite simple. We have put three persons: Asit, Arnold, and Afzal. Together, that is, let's say, person 1, person 2 plus person 3. We have no idea of their efficiencies, but together you can simply say they finish the work in X hours. Now, when they work together, they finish the work in X hours. If Asit is working alone, Asit would take 6 hours more than they work combinedly. That is, since they work combinedly X hours, so Asit is going to take X plus 6 hours. And let's go to Arnold. 1 hour less than Arnold would have taken. So Arnold would normally finish the work in X plus 1 hours. And half the time Afzal would have taken working alone. So Afzal would take 2x hours. So this is how we can see. Now they have asked us to find the time in which they complete when working together. We have no idea about the efficiencies. Absolutely. However, in X plus 6 hours, Asit would finish 100% of the work. In X plus 1 hour, Asit would finish exactly 100% of the work. And same is the case with Afzal also in 2x hours. Same is the case when all of them are working together. So this X hours, X plus 6, X plus 1, 2x, or the times they take either combined or individual to solve 100% of the work. Now what we can simply say, info from this one is like the 1 hour capacity of Asit plus 1 hour capacity of Arnold plus 1 hour capacity of Afzal is equal to 1 hour capacity of all of them. That is, in 1 hour, Asit would finish 1 by x by 6th part. Arnold would finish 1 by x plus 1th part. Afzal would finish 1 by 2x part. All of them combined finish 1 by xth part. So now, if we add the individual things, that must be equal to the combined one. Look, we will get a simple equation. We may get a quadratic equation. Solving the equation is not a challenge actually. Solving the equation is whether you are comfortable in solving the equation. That is the most important one. Now once you solve this equation, you will get an answer quite easily. Now the most important thing here is, what you need to understand here is, the questions are not at all difficult, but you should have a clear idea about how to apply the concept. If you have no idea about how to apply the concept, the chances are that you may not be able to solve this question. Even if you have solved this question, you must have invested a lot of time, or you must have really struggled. And I suggest you, and I inform you that out of the 11 questions, 14 questions we have solved directly from CAT 1990 to 2014. If you observe it, the level is 11 is easy, 3 are difficult, 3 are moderate. Now look at these moderate questions. Some of them are a bit lengthier. Some of them completely depend on solving an equation, a couple of equations, one equation, two equations. So it means it takes more time to solve a moderate question than it takes time to solve the easy question. But if you observe it actually, 11 and 3 questions. You can simply say that almost like 77% of the questions or like 23% of the questions are moderate. It means that more than 3/4 of the questions are easy questions. Well, some of them might have appeared in 1990s actually. But do remember, the level of difficulty of last year CAT or the level of difficulty in the last 4 or 5 years of CAT is not at all very high. It's like 2004 to 2008, this 5 years, the level of difficulty CAT is very high. Then it started falling. Last year it reached a very, very low level, in which majority of the people who joined IIM Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta, they have solved almost all the questions. I'm not saying that it's 70%, 80%. Majority of the students have solved almost all, because the level of difficulty of the questions is just this level, easy level. And do remember, this year also we are going to have 34 questions to be solved in 60 minutes. And one can easily conclude from the information that per question, the availability of time is approximately 100 seconds. In 100 seconds, we need to solve a question. So they should give a lot of easy questions. So don't miss easy questions. And at the same time, it's better once you are thorough with the concepts, application of the concepts. Because the moment you solve all the easy questions or majority of the easy questions and then solve one more difficult question, that will give you a huge boost in your percentile. Now, this question number 1 appeared in 1994 CAT. Question number 2 I've taken from 1995 CAT. Question number 3 is directly from 2001 CAT. For this one, I complete time and work. In the next session, I'll meet you with another topic related to CAT. Thank you.